Made by Paul Langford, number 44 off the Dolphins, especially in the 1882 season. White, Dorsett, and Springs. The wide receivers will be Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. Doug Cosby, now the incumbent at tight end. And one change in that offensive line. Phil Pozderac will be starting for Pat Donovan, who has a slight knee injury, but should be back at work in about a week or so. 1st and 10, and White handing off to Dorsett. He's got it open. 35-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards by Tony Dorsett. That's a different way to start the season, Scott.
Boy, it sure is, Frank. No defense at all. You got to keep in mind the Miami Dolphins last year were number 1 on the National Football League in defense, but not a thing here. Rapidly pushing them right out towards center on the left side. Nice block by Kurt Peterson, and Dorsett just does the rest on his own. So a big gain up to about the 35-yard line. Another first down for Dallas.
Lyle Blackwood, number 47 over there, along with brother Glenn, to run him out of bounds as the Cowboys pick up the first down of the ball game on the very first play from scrimmage. Gary Hogeboom also expected to see action tonight. Tom Landry hadn't decided before the game whether he'll bring him in the second quarter or start the second half with him. Here's Springs, flag down. Springs starting outside, and then saw the whole plug, decided to go up the middle, got a yard, maybe 2, and A.J. Dewey, number 77, making the stop for the Dolphins, but we've got a penalty marker on the play. 2nd and 7. At the 37-yard line. White with the give to Dorsett, tries the left side. Door closed this time. And Tony gets short yardage up to the 39. Then Blackwood making the stop as we take a look at the front three defensively. They go. Walker's the kick return specialist who had the big day against the Redskins in the Super Bowl. Ran one back for 98 yards. 3rd and 5 from the shotgun. White, sideline throw intended for Springs. Got a hand on it, but that was all. Lyle Blackwood, number 42, is over there defending.
Tom Rafferty comes to camp for the first time in a long time as the center. As we usher late on number 64, trying to give Danny White all the time he needs.
A pretty good job, too, on the nose tackle of the Dolphins. Bob Baumhauer, Pro Bowler from way back when. John Warren, the rookie free agent from Tennessee, has been one of the sensations of training camp. Is in to do the punting. He'll do all the punting tonight, according to Ben Agajanian. Nice high kick. Good hang time. Fielded back at the 15-yard line and immediately dropped is Mark Clayton, number 83, who is a rookie free agent from Louisville. So the Cowboys down to cover quickly. And you were talking when you were out there that you were impressed with Warren. They come up to the line of scrimmage for the very first time. They have the football at their 17-yard line. No score in the game. We've got 13 minutes and 43 seconds left in the opening period. Got a couple of tough little runners in that backfield, and number 37 carrying the football is one of them, Andre Franklin, former great blocking back at Nebraska, who was the second leading rusher last year in the NFC. Here's the Cowboys front four, all over 30 years of age. Now with Randy White being the latest and the new look in the linebackers, Angelo King starting in place of Mike Hakeman on one side. And of course, you know, Guy Brown is retired, and Anthony Dickerson is starting on the other side. Pick up a 3 by Franklin. It is 2nd down, 7 from the 20-yard line. David Woodley. Pitch out to Nathan. Now it isn't either. That's David Overstreet who's in there, number 20. And very short yardage on the play. Michael Downs making the stop for the Cowboys, coming up from the secondary. Cowboys leading tackler last year. They'll spot it at the 22, set up 3rd down and 5. This telecast is presented by authority of the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. It's intended for the private use of our audience in any rebroadcast. Cephalo, number 81, was the intended receiver, and they sure took their time about throwing that flag, and Cubby is not very happy about it at all. Walls, who reported to training camp 5 days late, the referee will give the Dolphins.
If you're watching the replay, I think it's the right part of his body that really comes around. I don't think he swung it with his hand at all. He just kind of maybe caught him on the right side of the body and left the flag. The referee, though, was blindsided on the play.
First and 10 at the 39. Woodley looking to his right and then going to his left. Completes the pass to Cepolo, the former Penn State star, at the 43-yard line for a pickup of 4 on the play before Dennis Thurman comes up to get it.
Remember a couple of years ago, Frank, the great catch by Cepolo from Woodley, that great 28-27 Cowboy win, I think, back in the 81 season. Cepolo went about 55 yards, but must have ran about 110 back and across the field as he went. He's a real elusive wide receiver.
Cepolo, as a freshman at Penn State, was the most valuable player in the Cotton Bowl. That was back in '75 when Joe Paterno's gang came down here and beat Baylor. Second down, caught it 5 for the first down. Inside handoff, Overstreet. Former OU star breaks it for a first down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Dave Overstreet was the #1 draft choice of the Dolphins 3 years ago, elected to go to Canada. Good luck here at the outset. We were told that Nathan was going to start along with Andre Franklin, but it has been Overstreet in there. This time, Franklin breaks a tackle at the 50, gets down to the 45-yard line. They pick up a 3 on the play. Dolphins with a 50 drive going here, aided, of course, by the pass interference penalty, and Franklin may have picked up another first down.
They are building here, and they went all the way.
First and 10, Dolphins at the Cowboy 37-yard line. Woodley plays college football at LSU and has been a starter since a rookie, pitching out to Overstreet. And Overstreet penetrates the 35, gets down to the 33, and Bruning brings it down for the Cowboys. Normally their backup is holding out, and right now, Don Shula really doesn't care that much about it because he wants to take a good look at Marino anyway. Second and 5. Woodley bumps it once, trying to escape. He's free at the 30. Still on his feet at the 25. First down to the draft, and he was a starter before the end of his rookie year. First and 10. Miami at the 24. Overstreet gets a couple of tough yards up the middle to the 22. Randy White, number 54, Harvey Martin, and John Dutton all into the stop.
Harvey Martin, at one point at the beginning of the camp, a lot of talk that he might be fighting for his job at 32 years of age, but as we well know, the Cowboys just gave him a 3-year contract worth about $900,000, and even though he has the #1 pick this year for the Cowboys in the form of Jim Jeffcoat, breathing down his neck, so to speak, Harvey said he is ready to play, and it's had, for the most part, a good camp this year.
This drive started back at the 17-yard line and has eaten up a big chunk of the first quarter. 8 minutes, 15 seconds to go. No score. Second and 8, Miami from the 23 of Dallas. Woodley looking over the middle, has Overstreet. One-on-one situation there with Anthony Dickerson, who hangs on until Michael Downs arrives on the scene to help at the 15-yard line. No guards or running backs. He could send a different player in every time. He moves it around pretty good. Third down and 1. Big play in this drive for the Dolphins at the Dallas 15. Woodley gives to Franklin. We got a flag. Franklin has a first down. Would everything be in order on this drive? Cepolo wide to the right side. The veteran Juriel Harris is split to the left. Thurman picks him up. And another flag. This time prior to the snap, as Too Tall Jones was all over David Woodley. Good for the Cowboys. Extra linebacker. Woodley, barking the signals, takes a look over at Cepolo. Overstreet caught behind the line. Downs had him. And then he got away, but he still dropped for the loss back to the 7-yard line.
Bet out of Notre Dame, one of the finest in the game. And he kind of leads the play. Takes care of Bob Brunig. That's Danny Spradlin, I guess. They're in there now for number 55 for Brunig. And a nice second effort by Overstreet.
Kutchenberg is the only guy left on that Dolphin team who was around when they were winning all those Super Bowls. I played against the Cowboys the first time these teams met. It was the only time they met in the Super Bowl, and Dallas won its first back in 1970. Second and goal from the 7. Woodley to Overstreet at the 5. So he got the 2 back they lost on the previous play, but good reaction from the Cowboys.
Guy Brown's retirement going to Anthony Dickerson, but King has really come on in camp thus far this year.
Third and goal. Dolphins at the Dallas 5-yard line. From the shotgun formation, the handoff is to Nathan. He's at the 5. He's down to the 1. He's over. Touchdown, Miami. Rod Schamann, who had a so-so year last year after a sensational year 2 years ago. Ready for the extra point try. And the kick is good. And the Dolphins eat up about 7 minutes of the first quarter. Stadium when the Cowboys scored twice in the last 4 minutes to win it. 28-27. Uwe von Schamann with the kickoff. And this one coming down to Timmy Newsom's side. Newsom at the 1. Back to the 10, 15. Hit at the 20. Took him 13 plays to go 83 yards and consumed almost 7 minutes on the clock. So they lead it 7-0. 6 minutes left to play. Cowboys with 1 possession, 1 first down. Out on Tony Dorsett's 20-yard run. Sideline throw. Nice one-handed grab by Tony Hill, who pulls it down at the 25. Pick up a 5 on the play, and Gerald Small, number 48, is over there to make the stop.
So much has been made this year in the papers the last 6 or 7 months in Dallas about the quarterback controversy, White against Hogaboom. Standing a little high on this one, but Tony Hill with a great hands pulls it in and stays in bounds for about a 5-yard pickup.
Well, let's call it 6. Make it 2nd down and 4. You want to quiggle with me there, will you? Always try to be accurate. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Dorsett and Springs are the setbacks. Tony, of course, deep in that tailback slot, takes the handoff and doesn't get much around the left side. Dorsett said he would like to play a little bit less in preseason this year. He feels he doesn't need that much work and wants to save himself, really, for the regular season.
I don't think there's any question about that. Hogaboom is just going to be head over heels better than White.
Barring injury, I think that's the only way.
That's right.
Shotgun formation on 3rd and 3, and they go the inside handoff. Dorsett, 30, and out of bounds at the 32. I think he's got enough for the first down, but we'll see. That's the same type of play that the Dolphins scored the touchdown on. The inside handoff from the shotgun position. And Tony Dorsett on the sweep gets a couple of big yards. Ron Hester making the stop. 2-yard line. White, protection good, swings it out. Dorsett up to the 35, to the 40-yard line. That's good for 8.
Back again, no question about that. All alone out on the right side and the right flat, and Dorsett just one-on-one. I think it's a good point you alluded to a few minutes ago about the fact that some of these veterans, like Dorsett, don't want to play. They're not earning any position in there, and they really would like to take it easy, as you mentioned, on these hot summer Texas nights.
One of the big trends in the NFL last couple of years has been the single setback with 2 tight ends, which the Cowboys had in on that last play. They're back to the 2 setbacks this time around. Straight handoff up the middle. Springs takes it to the 43-yard line. The fumble came after the whistle. That'll be good for another first down if everything's in order. 3-yard line. Drew Pearson split wide to the right side. Now Dorsett goes out on a wing, matched up against Glenn Blackwood at the cornerback position. White back to throw it. Downfield to Cosby, the tight end. And Doug Cosby pulls in the reception at the 48-yard line. Dorsett that time went out on a wing and ran a fly pattern all the way downfield.
First time since coming to training camp 5 years ago, Doug Cosby, the starting tight end over Billy Joe Dupree, one of the finest in the business. And he does that so well. Cosby out of Santa Clara. Very pleased with all the notoriety that the tight ends are beginning to receive with fellas like Kellen Winslow and some of the other big names of the National Football League nowadays, but he's one of the finest.
What a great target, too, at 6'6" and about 230 pounds. Pick up a 5, 2nd and 5 for the Cowboys at their 48-yard line. Dorsett up the middle. 35, 40, 30. He is gone. However, there's a marker back at the line of scrimmage.
Just on the right side, and he just scampers and just outlegs everybody. But all for naught, 52 yards in the score, and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 from their own 42, 43.
Now Dorsett is being given a breather, and Timmy Newsom has come in at the tailback slot after after the walk-off. It's now second down 10 for the Cowboys at their own 43-yard line. Drew Pearson in motion. Handoff, Ron Springs out to the 45 for a pickup of 2. Not very many passes this year to get up to 1,500 career. That officially puts him in the NFL lifetime stats, where he would be second to Roger Staubach. Here's White unloading. Rookie from Louisville, free agent. And there's a look at Warren.
I think the key is the fact that the hang time again on that first punt was so long, well over 4 seconds, that the run back was only 2 yards, Frank.
There's another nice high kick from Warren. Clayton has trouble handling it. Loose ball. And the Dolphins recover on the 18-yard line. White arrived on the scene that could take over the regular Cowboy punting job. Tom Landry has indicated if he found the right man, he would keep a punter. This despite the fact there's a crunch on the roster, since they have to get down to 45 players instead of 49. Woodley with the handoff to Overstreet. Overstreet out across the 20 to the 21 for a pickup of 3. But they'll have to make do with programs and what have you. Salesmanship Club game wouldn't be the Salesmanship Club game without 90-degree temperatures, though. On 2nd and 7, David Woodley going long downfield. I tell you, that pass looked to be right on the money, right off his shoulder pad. Vigorito is in there. Harris wide to the right side. Shotgun formation. Woodley. Dutton trying to chase him down. Average better than 49 yards a punt. Averaged all year long. That's an NCAA record. And Rod Hill is back deep for the Cowboys. Roby takes the snap at the 7. What a kick. Hill backpedaling inside the 20. Fields it at the 16. To the 25-yard line and fights his way forward to the 29.
Earlier about John Warren, the fellow from Tennessee. A lot of talk this year at training camp that this kid was so good. Why didn't he get drafted? Well, the fact of the matter is at least so John Warren. But John said he was not called upon to punt unless it was inside about the 45-yard line, and he was called upon to do a lot of the corner kicks. So his average was not as high as it might have been. But true to form, the Cowboys always looking for that something extra. Apparently we're well aware of that and knew what kind of foot he had on him, and so took a chance on John Ward.
The Cowboys have another young kicker, Stephen Cox, who'll probably see some duty against the Rams next week that they're high on. He played his college football at Tulsa.
And apparently this last week at camp has surpassed Warren in the stats on the daily averages.
Dallas 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Cowboys trailing 7-0. Danny White. Short toss out to Ron Springs. Springs hustled out of bounds at the 38-yard line after picking up 8.
Another guy you talk about, Ron Springs, not really working for his starting job, but then again he is, because he is really being pushed by George Peoples, the second-year fullback out of Auburn.
And this may be his last year. Drew Pearson had said that, but now Drew's kind of backing off a little bit. Sees the salaries going up, I think.
I think you're probably right.
2nd down, short 2 needed for the first down, and we get contact prior to the snap of the ball. Cowboys went all the way to the Super Bowl.
A lot of talk at preseason, Frank, that this draft was going to be quite similar to the one in 1975, but that as yet has not been the case and not panned out to be that.
3rd down, 5 needed for the first down. Cowboys at their 34, White from the shotgun. Danny, good protection, gets the pass away completely. And a fine catch by Drew Pearson. Fulton Walker hit him immediately, but excellent concentration by the veteran Pearson, who caught that ball in heavy traffic, as he has so many down through the years.
Lyle Blackwood, number 42 in blue, came into your picture. He almost tried to pick it off there, but came up a little short, and Pearson just took it away from him. Blackwood, of course, out of TCU. Makes his home down in Austin. Grew up in San Antonio, Texas.
The only brother tandem in the NFL. You've got Lyle and Glenn playing in the same secondary for the Dolphins. Cowboys with the first down at the Dolphin 49. Inside of 10 seconds left to play in the quarter, and we get a flag backed by a 5-yard rush from Tony Nathan. First down, 15. Cowboys at their 46-yard line. Drew Pearson in motion, handoff Springs. A across the 50, bounces off a tackler to the 48-yard line. Set up second down and 9. A.J. Dewey thing. As warm as it is, it amazes me how cool that they can look out there when they're going through their thing. 7-0. Dolphins leading. Cowboys with the football have a 2nd and 9 upcoming from the Dolphin 48-yard line. A lot of substitutions here to start the second quarter, headed by Gary Hogeboom, who's now at quarterback. Newhouse and Newsom are the setbacks, and Doug Donnelly and Butch Johnson have committed wide receivers. We also saw Billy Joe Dupree in there at tight end. Hogeboom on the first play of the second period. Opens with a pass to Dupree. Good for 8 yards or so, just short of the first down at the 41-yard line. A former Central Michigan Chippewa. I bet you didn't know that. Crowd wants a chance to see what he can do after that very impressive second half against the Redskins after White was injured. Cowboys going with the run for the first down, and they pick it up with Newsom on the carry with no problem at all. A lot of first-year, second-year guys trying to mow them out. Number 66 that you see is Chris Schultz. There's another rookie out of that Arizona connection. He's leading up there in the lineup. Johnson left, Donnelly right. 1st and 10, Cowboys at the 37-yard line. Again, Timmy Newsom. He is a wild man. Wears a size 15 shoe and has an Amazon parrot named, I think, Ralph, that speaks Spanish. I'll take your word for it. All right. 2nd and 8, Hogeboom. Oh, Magnum arm lets it go. Intended for Butch. Across the middle, you see Doug Donnelly come back across the other way, number 83. And he just gets blindsided. And down he goes. But apparently okay, he was right back up. Seconds to go in the first half. He had 14 out of 29 for 162 yards and 3 touchdowns, but also threw a couple of big interceptions in there, which cost the Cowboys dearly. From the shotgun on 3rd and 7, we got a flag down, and Hogeboom, a confident young man, and everyone feels he's going to be a star in this league. Well, he's got an arm on him like a howitzer. Again, the big rush. 4th down, and Rafael Septien on to try the field goal. Landry has indicated he's going to alternate Septien tonight with Raul Alegre, the rookie from Texas. This is going to be a moonshot. 53-yard attempt. It is up, and it has got enough. It is good. Nice way to start the year. Rafael Septien bangs one home. The rookie, Mark Clayton, who's also been back on punts. Free agent from Louisville. Fields this one at the 4. Up to the 10, 15, 20. Fumbles the ball. And the Dolphins get a break. Talk about, it'll be popped out when he gets into the sack of people. Bruce Hardy, just on the left of your screen, already down on one knee. Up to play first half. Cowboys trail 7-3. Nat Moore is wide to the right side. And the Dolphins going with a single running back. Woodley is still in at quarterback. We'll see Marino in the second half of play. So the Dolphins going with the one running back setup that time, and the handoff to Andre Franklin, number 37, picks up short yardage. Jeffco out of Arizona State. And ties up a good job, and Franklin stopped him for short yardage on the play. He picked up 2, so Jeffcoat on his very first play in a Dallas Cowboy uniform makes the tackle. 2nd down, 8 needed for the first down from the 24-yard line of the Dolphins. They continue to go with the one setback situation. Franklin this time trying the left side, and it's just as tough over there, of course. Fellows and Walls are playing the corners right now, and Mike Downs is still in there, along with Dennis Thurman. 3rd down, 4 needed for the first down. Shotgun. Rushes on Woodley. Gets out of the pack up the middle. He's got the first down, and a lot more as he is finally wrapped at the 44. Dropping back in the pocket to pass, and Jeffcoat coming in. Looks like he might have gotten a hand on him, but he just actually runs by. Comes out of the pocket. Everybody's way downfield, so he's got 15, 20 yards to take a shot at it. Indeed he does.
another look from the end zone camera. You can see definitely setting up the pass, and everybody just overruns him. And off he goes.
Don Smerrick, another young veteran for the Cowboys, also in that defensive line now. First down, Dolphins at their 44-yard line. Franklin, the workhorse, over the left side. Out to the 47 to the 48. A pickup of
78 has never really panned out. And, of course, with the number 1 pick of Jeffcoat this year, he's going to show his wares here in preseason.
Jeff Rohr is into the linebacker. Rod Hill is into the cornerback. Dexter Klinkscale into the secondary. Second down, 6. Pass is tipped. Fell harmlessly at the feet of Jim Jeffcoat. Jeffcoat, number 93, stomping around. Thought he had a chance at his first NFL interception. He was the number 1 defensive player and the number 1 defensive team in college football last year, Arizona State.
And his teammate, Michael Langston, number 98, almost got a hand on that himself. Picked up as a free agent by the Cowboys.
Uwe van Schamen doing a little meditating, perhaps, on the sidelines. The Dolphin place kicker. Third down, 6 needed for the first down. Miami with the football at their own 48-yard line. Rushes on Woodley. Back from the shotgun. Gets the pass away. Completes it to Vigorito, and he did not get enough for the first down. Monty Hunter. See what Roby does this time. 8 minutes, 40 seconds left to play. First half. Dolphins leading the Cowboys 7-3. Angling for the far side coffin corner. And this one bounces at the 1 and is chased on into the end zone. And that'll be a touchback. Good in the NFL since the merger. The Cowboys number 1 and the Miami Dolphins number 2. Cowboys with the football. First and 10 at their 20-yard line. Gary Hogeboom. Pitch to Newsome. Nice cutback by Newsome. Runs over a couple of people and almost broke it. Timmy Newsome showing great balance. Picking up a first down.
Barnett. Newsome has really kind of taken over that number 2 spot for Jimmy Jones. Jones out all last year in the injured reserve list and has still had some problems and some surgery before training camp and will likely be out the better part of this season. So Newsome is the man to back up Tony Dorsett, and you can see where the Cowboys are so high on him. You recall just about a year ago, they made a switch from fullback to tailback, much to his dismay, but he likes the new spot.
Inside handoff for Robert Newhouse, and Newhouse still has something left as he clears it across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. Basically, this is the Cowboys' number 2 offense now against the Dolphins' number 2 defense. Particularly against the Green Bay Packers. He had a great touchdown catch against the Houston Oilers in the Monday night game. And really shows great promise. Second and 4, Newsome again. First down across the 50 to the 48-yard line.
Newsome again, he's number 30 on your screen. Trying to pick up who got the block. I think it might have been Brian Baldinger, who Coach Landry said is the most improved.
First and 10 for the Cowboys at the 48-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Hogeboom hitting Newhouse with a short toss, and he is tackled immediately by Fulton Walker. 13 years, including 3 in a row, and trying to get over that final hurdle. Second and 7 from the Miami 45. Hogeboom. Quick cross to Billy Cruz's 3. Just short of the first down at the 40-yard line. Glenn Blackwood. But the Cowboys with a drive here that started back in the 20. Newsome will be close for the first down at the 38-yard line. Regular season, maybe not. Preseason, why not? Hogeboom was at 3 out of 5 for 16 yards. Calls the line down, flag down as Newsome dives over the top. Just about the exact spot that, well, I shouldn't say that. He kicked the field goal from this spot. So actually, it'd be 7 yards deeper. So Raphael Wright has a 53-yarder, would only have to kick a 60-yarder from here. Maybe Tom Landry is right. Vigorito is deep. Warren, the rookie from Tennessee, trying to win himself a job. Angling it for the near side, and this one goes out of bounds inside the 5. They'll mark it at the 4. First down, Miami. Brought by John Warren out of bounds at the 4-yard line. So the Dolphins with very poor field position as they start this drive. David Woodley has gone the entire first half at quarterback. They give us to Andre Franklin, the big horse up the middle, takes it across the 5 and out to the 7-yard line. the action up the middle. This kid is a pretty good center.
Dwight Stevenson, according to the late Bear Bryant, was the best center that he...
Down 7 for the Dolphins from the Dallas 7-yard line. A flag down. Front line. Boy, he runs like a bull.
Draft pick Jim Jemko picking up the penalty. And this is just sheer power and speed on the part of Andre Franklin.
He looks like Larry Zonka a little bit for that running style. 1st and 10. Now from the 25, the pitch goes to Overstreet. Around the right side and bumped out of bounds after a pickup of maybe 1 yard.
Who's going on in camp? So lots of young linebackers on the part of the Cowboys.
2nd and 9, 1 running back for the Miami Dolphins. And that's Eddie Hill. Woodley completing the pass to Duriel Harris. Retreated and lost about 3 yards or so from the point where he caught the football, but still a gain up to the 32-yard line. They need the 3rd down. Dolphins still need 3 for the 1st down with the ball at their 33-yard line. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the 1st half. Figueredo has been given a trial here as the clock ticks down to the 2-minute warning. They may get one more play off. These teams have met 4 times in regular season play, and they've split those 4 meetings. Pitch to Overstreet is back in the lineup, and Overstreet is buried behind the line, back at the 35-yard line. Jim Iliopolis, this is the way 3rd downs have gone so far. Anytime you get 50% of that category, you're doing pretty well. And both clubs have achieved that goal so far. As we head back to play, Dolphins have a 2nd down, 14. With the ball at their 36, Woodley from the shotgun. Pressure from the Cowboys. Unloads it nevertheless. And he's got his inside the 10-yard line.
It was really not all that bad on the part of the Cowboys, but you see the secondary dropping back in the part of the Cowboys, and it's simply a running game from that point on. Rose just outruns him, and that was it.
Timeout situation shouldn't be any problem for the Dolphins, who have 2 left. Cowboys have all of theirs left. Overstreet is the sole setback in there right now, although they've got Eddie Hill set as a flanker off to the left side. Woodley working end zone for the score, and couldn't get it. The left side, Duriel Harris wide to the right. They got the regular receivers in there. Hill all the way over the middle for the touchdown. He's got it, but take him back from players between now and after the Ram game. 96-yard scoring drive. Big play, the 56-yard pass to the tight end Joe Rose. Ron Fellows fields this one in the end zone and downs it. Cowboys and several other 1st downs. Cowboys have all of their timeouts left as Hogaboom brings them out in the shotgun formation. Gary working with the 2nd team wide receivers. It's Timmy Newsom at the 25. And Newsom down at the 26-yard line by Mike Kozlowski, who is the nickelback, number 40 in the Dolphins defense. Cowboys quickly go with no huddle in this 2-minute offense on 2nd and 4. Again, Hogaboom. Quick delivery right through the hands that time of Newsom, who obviously took his eyes off the football. Perhaps heard the footsteps of Glenn Blackwood, number 47, moving a play from head coach Tom Landry. Drew Pearson is in at the wide receiver to the right. Butch Johnson is in the slot off to the right, and Doug Donnelly is split left. Hogaboom needs the 1st down to keep it going. He's got that as he completes the pass at the 42-yard line and stops standing up his old reliable Drew Pearson.
Hogaboom really shot that right of the... Here's a look at the replay. There are about 4 dark blue Miami Dolphin jerseys in the vicinity, and he goes right in the middle of them.
And back to live action quickly as again the Cowboys go without a huddle, and this time Pearson trying to make a shoestring catch, can't hang on to the ball at the 27 seconds left to play in the half, and Dallas with a 2nd and 10 from its own 43.
You talk about Drew Pearson. We alluded to the fact that he said this was going to be his last year with the Cowboys at the beginning of the season, but now since he has gotten to training camp and all that is going on with the USFL and what have you, I think maybe see some dollars have you in the USFL, where he played his college ball. So he's kind of left it all open right now.
2nd and 10. Hogaboom intended for Donnelly, and let's see, is it picked off? No. Incomplete at their own 43-yard line. They trail 14-3. Hogaboom. Springs runs it out of bounds at the 50, short of the first down, but stopping the clock with 17 seconds left to go, and Gerald Small, number 48, there to make sure he doesn't go any further.
Ron Springs got those sure hands. A couple of years ago, back in 1981, he tied Tony Hill for the team lead in receptions at 45. So you see that a lot coming out of the backfield at number 20. But he did still come up short by 3, but the Cowboys, of course, with only 17 seconds left, will go on it with 4th and 3rd.
4th down, 3 needed for the first down at the 50. You might recall last time we mentioned that the Cowboys came from behind to beat the Dolphins here 28-27. It was Springs who caught the winning touchdown pass. Cowboys keep the drive going as they pick up the first down. Drew Pearson hauling in the pass at the 40-yard line. Fulton Walker on the stop, and the clock is run down to 10 seconds.
Gary Hogaboom.
Half Dallas trailing 14-3. Hogaboom over the head of to a running back. Gil Brandt is very high on Raul Allegre. We were talking to him before the game, and he said he is a heck of a kicker. So there's the throw to the sideline to Timmy Newsome, out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and they've got 3 seconds to go. So here comes the field goal unit, and on comes Raul Allegre from the University of Texas. Longhorns regular kicker for the last 3 years. 1.5, maybe, well, we could call it 52 yards, depending on where the ball is put down. Probably closer to 51 for Allegre. Septien hit a 53-yarder earlier. This will be the last play of the first half. The kick is up. It is long enough. It is good. So Allegre leaping high into the air after hitting his first NFL field goal attempt. A 51-yarder as the first half comes to a close. On a 88 with a fine run back, Scott.
No question about that. He's a young man that, like some of these other fellas, trying to find a spot on the roster. Yeah, this is what the preseason is all about. Second-year man out of Central State. And just wants to show Don Shula and the coaching staff of the Dolphins what he can do.
He's another talented young wide receiver, and they are loaded with him. Well, as predicted, here's your first look at Dan Marino, number 1 draft choice of the Miami Dolphins, second to last player taken in the draft. And he comes out throwing, but not necessarily completing, as that pass was intended for Mark Duper, number 85. Appearances, won 3 out of 4. Lost to SMU in the Cotton Bowl. That, of course, cost him a few notches in the draft. He was the 6th quarterback picked in the first round. Sticking on the ground that time and going with Woody Bennett, number 34, who has missed most of the last. Dolphins go to the shotgun. Shula has been very impressed with the work of Marino so far in training camp. Very intelligent youngster, very strong arm, trying to scramble out of trouble. Chased by Dutton, picks up the first down, and wisely goes out of bounds after picking up the first at the 47-yard line. First and 10, Dolphins at their own 47-yard line. Hand off to the second man through. That's David Overstreet, trying to go wide. And Overstreet having a tough time keeping his footing, being pursued by Everson Walls, who slowed him down. He eventually went out of bounds at the 49 after a pickup of 2. And then they've got almost 4,000 no-shows, 3,997. Second and 8, Marino drills it over the middle and wide open. It's number 87, Dan Johnson, the tight end, who had trouble controlling it. But when he found the handle, he picked up another 10 or so and moved it down to the 30-yard line.
Excuse me, of course, Joe Rose, the other 2, but as Frank alluded to, bobbled it, but nobody around to stop it, and he just pulled it in and took off. Finally brought down by number 31.
Very sharp so far in his first series as a pro. Mark Clayton is wide to the right side to give this time to the second man through, Woody Bennett. And Bennett takes it inside the 25 to the 24. Harvey Martin, number 79. Second down, 6. Dolphins at the Dallas 24-yard line. Bennett and Overstreet, the setbacks. Marino back to throw, looks right, and then decides to throw it away. Intended for Overstreet, but he was well covered by Anthony Dickerson over on the far side. Down 6 from the 24-yard line. Dolphins driving. Opening possession of the second half. Shotgun. Marino drills it. Incomplete. Intended for Eddie Hill and Dexter Clinkscale, number 47. But the hit,
it doesn't seem to have bothered him whatsoever. Going one-on-one with Mark Clayton.
Of course, this will be from 40 yards out with Marino to hold. Dolphins' first field goal attempt of the evening. Got it up. Plenty of boot and good. Boy, that thing would have gone another 10 or 15 yards as Shaman really got all of that one. Well, Jimmy Newsome on the right. High, deep kick. Fellows, 4 yards deep in the end zone, elects not to run it out. Dallas with a slight edge in passing, and Miami with the aid of some great work by Andre Franklin has the edge in the rushing department. Cowboys threw it a lot more, but the passing yardage, total yardage, was the same. And, of course, one stat that doesn't show up there is penalties. The Cowboys were murdered. They were penalized 7 times for 47 yards, and Miami was not penalized a single time in the first half. First and 10 for the Cowboys, who have that number 1 unit back in there. Danny White at quarterback, Ron Springs, and Tony Dorsett in the backfield. And White throws in the first play of the second half and completes it to Tony Hill for the first down at the 31-yard line.
Say about Tony Hill that hasn't already been said. Number 80, Cowboys wide receiver, just one of the best in the business. He is a good one.
Well, the word from the bench is that Harvey Martin, who had a bit of a shoulder problem in training camp, has re-injured that shoulder and probably will take the rest of the night off. First and 10. Cowboys at their 31. Single setback is Dorsett. Man in motion is Doug Cosby. The tight end, Danny White. Quick screen out to Tony Hill. And Hill is close to another first down at the 40-yard line.
All the way down to 91 or 92 now.
At least. Second half of play started kickoff time 96 degrees. Second down and a yard. Undoubtedly, the heat has kept the crowd down some. Flag is down as Dorsett at 11. And there's what we were talking about a moment ago. The Cowboys penalized for the 8th time. And the Dolphins, remarkably, when you consider this is a first preseason game, have escaped any penalties at all. Danny White, protection good for a moment, spins out of a tackle, and is finally torn down. Bowser's coach. Loss in the play back to the 26-yard line. It is third down, 15. White from the shotgun. Cowboys could use a big play, and he's going for one. Doug Donnelly, the intended receiver, but the pass thrown too far out of. And Mark Clayton, number 83, is dropping back deep. Clayton waiting and signaling for the fair catch at the 25-yard line, heading back to the 6-yard line. See how much foot he can get into it. Not his best, but not bad. So the Dolphins just picked up about 20 yards worth of field position by accepting that penalty as the punt was in command here at Texas Stadium with 9:44 left to play in the third period. Tom Landry trying to figure out how to get his offense going, which has produced just 2 field goals so far, and both of those from better than 50 yards away. Dolphins fall first and 10 from their 42-yard line. That last punt by Warren covered only 39 yards. Marino has his pass blocked on it.
Get those big mitts up as he has done for so many years here at Texas Stadium. Really got up off the ground. Couple feet. You don't often see that. You see him swatted down, but he's not vertically going up. He was up maybe 12, 18 inches that time.
Dan Marino is one of 3 players that bid to have his jersey retired. The other 2 are Tony Dorsett of the Cowboys and Hugh Green, who now plays with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Second and 10 from the 42. Pitch to Overstreet. Former OU star gets outside, gets close to 5 yards on that play as he carries to the 46 down, and Harvey does not look like he's enjoying the surroundings right now. Third down, 6 needed for the first down. Dolphins from their 46-yard line. Flag down as Vigorito takes the handoff, and the Cowboys stop him cold. Tubby Walls, number 24 up there, coming up quickly.
downs or Hill. Keep your eyes on Emerson Walls. Sees that it's going to be a running play. Lets the receiver go by and comes in for the penetration. Gets some help from Michael Downs and a loss on the play for Miami. Right foot insured as Emerson Walls just took out his $1 million contract with Lloyd's of London. Rod Hill, number 25, the deep man for the Cowboys. No pressure at all. Boy, here's another kick that bounces on the 5 and on into the end zone. Hands off this time. And Timmy Newsom. And Newsom is out to the 25-yard line. Got a Notre Dame second-year man, allowing Timmy Newsom a little room to get through. And a pickup about 5 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 5. Danny White, by the way, became a father for the 4th time. That little boy just 1 week ago today, as a matter of fact. Got back into camp just in time for the inter-squad scrimmage. White sideline throw to Drew Pearson. Time off didn't seem to bother him, though. Well, Drew has caught everything they have thrown at him. I'm sure Love's getting all the attention thus far. Take a look at the Dolphins' defensive secondary, and you see Pearson draw just a little short on the down and out pattern, out of bounds. That is Drew's 4th catch of the night. Cowboys with their 11th first down versus 14 for Miami. 1st and 10 Dallas with the ball at the 34-yard line. 8:05 left in the 3rd period. Newsom trying to turn that corner. Close to the first down. But not quite enough. Out there around the 40-yard line or thereabout. Fulton Walker ran him out of bounds. Number 41. Again, a look at Harvey Martin on the sideline, who appears to be in a little bit of pain right now. That right shoulder iced down, which he injured earlier in this period. One of the great quotes come out of camp this year was Coach Landry talking about Newsom and the fact that he doesn't talk too much, and he says he's one of those guys that's kind of hard to read. He never really says much. 2nd down and 6 for the Cowboys at the 38-yard line. One of the Dolphins almost offside, got back in time. Rod Springs on the carry to the 41 or 42-yard line. Cowboys return to Thousand Oaks tomorrow. They'll fly back late tomorrow afternoon and resume 2-a-days on Monday morning. And then prepare for their next start against the Rams at Anaheim, which will be telecast live a week from Monday night. Chance to see SMU. There's Eric Dickerson, who really has had an outstanding camp. We sound like a broken record as we refer to different ball players about that, but John Robinson, the rookie coach from USC, said he is outstanding. 3rd down, 2 needed for the first down. Cowboys from their 42 give it to Newsom, and Newsom has the first. And is out to the 50-yard line. It looks like the Tom Landry hearing his film is the fact that Newsom did a fine job running the football. One of the Dolphins there ran right out of his shoes. Really close to that fan, which is a good place to be. So the Cowboys keep the drive going. 1st and 10 now from their 49-yard line. Newsom coupled in the backfield with Ron Springs. Hill to the left side. Pearson to the right. Danny White. It springs to the 48-yard line. We might take a look tonight at Chuck McSwain, who is another rookie running back for the Cowboys, who's looked good in training camp so far out of Clemson. Bowser making the stop. And there's also a chance we might get a brief look at Glenn Carano. However, the way this ball game is going, you never know. White is at 8 out of 11 for 74 yards. Most of them in short throws, quite obviously. Danny pulled over the middle this time, and it is picked off. Pass interception by the Miami Dolphins. Emmett Tilley, number 94. First interception on either side, and a big moment for that Dolphin rookie from Duke University. As it stops the Cowboy drive at the 41-yard line. Timeout with the score. Minutes and 47 seconds left to play in the 3rd period. The Dolphins leading the Cowboys 17-6. After the interception, the Dolphins with excellent field position have the 1st and 10 at their own 48. Dan Marino, 1 out of 5 so far. That for 23 yards. It's released to the tight end Johnson. Clayton in motion. The give is to Woody Bennett, and
season opener against the Redskins. Nice to know we're going to have a full season this year. After seeing only 9 regular season games last year because of the strike. Second down, 6. Overstreet escapes Angelo King behind the line of scrimmage, but the pursuit finally caught him. Cubby Walls shoved him out of bounds at about midfield.
Overstreet has really been contained well as far tonight. Prior to that last was 10 of 19, not even a 2-yard average. The Oklahoma standout trying to come back to Miami, where he was drafted a couple of years ago, decided to play his ball up in Canada, and then thought better of it and is now back with the Dolphins.
Whatever happened to Nelson Scalabrini? Remember how he ran that franchise up there right into the ground and had Ferragamo, had Overstreet, had the tackle from Pittsburgh that went back to the Steelers this year.
Montreal Alouettes.
Now the Montreal Concords in the Canadian League. 3rd and 9. Marino by the Cowboys. Mark Tooney, number 90, defensive tackle. After the hit by Ed Jones, and there's a big moment for the rookie.
Marino out of the shotgun. Really had a fair amount of time, but then was rushed by number 76 Bethea coming in there. Ed Jones just ripped his arm away, and Tooney was right there to pick it up. Tooney, a fellow that you haven't heard anything about in camp this year. Probably about as much chance of making the club as I do. A rookie out of Hawaii, but was right there to cover up and put the Cowboys back in good field position inside the 50-yard line.
Well, this is where we were a moment ago when Danny White had the pass picked off. See if the Cowboys can muster a drive now. Their first touchdown drive of the year. Newhouse has come into the lineup, spinning and fighting his way down to the 43 for a pickup of 3 yards on the play before finally being halted. Bob Bumhauer, number 73, making the stop for the Dolphins. There's the young man we were talking about a bit earlier. He's Chuck McSwain, played his college football at Clemson and was a 5th-round draft choice of the Cowboys, and very fast. He ran on the 400-meter relay team that won the ACC championship. Danny White with the throw, and a pretty good catch there by the rookie who had to reach back for that one. Not bad at all.
This was one of the concerns, Frank, that he would not have the good hands that Ron Springs has.
Could have fooled me there.
Boy, he is something. Chuck McSwain, watch him have to go back with his right hand to pull it in. Turns completely around and picks up what looks to be close to a first down, maybe short by about a yard.
Cowboys. Mark Tooney, rookie from Hawaii. 3rd down, less than a yard for the first down. Cowboys at the Dolphins 36. McSwain and Newhouse, the setbacks this time around. The rookie McSwain has the first at the 34-yard line.
He has looked real good thus far in the rookie scrimmage against the Rams a couple of weeks ago. Was one of the key players offensively as far as Coach Landry was concerned. And then last week in the inter-squad scrimmage also fared very well. So if you had to put your finger on maybe the top 3 players right now as far as the rookie crop, he would probably be one of the 3. At this point, it's a good bet to make the club.
Danny White, 9 out of 13 so far. Cowboys with only 2 field goals to show for their offensive efforts. 1st and 10 from the 34. White back to throw. Flag is down. And so is White, who was drilled back about the 45-yard line. Pass incomplete. Ron Hester, number 53, with the big rush. And once again, looks like the penalty will go against the Cowboys.
Memories of last January in Washington as White really got crunched in that pass attack on the part of the Dolphins.
Doug Cosby was all alone on the play down in the left corner, but White never had a chance to see him, and Cosby came back holding his arm saying, man, I was out here. But White was telling him I had some other things on my mind at the time. So the Dolphins with the option on the penalty, and Pat Haggerty will walk off the yardage and then tell us what it was about. Side, Drew Pearson off to the left. Danny White trying to set up the screen. The slings caught from behind. behind at the 39-yard line after a pickup of about 5 yards of the play. Bill Barnett, number 70, making the stop for the Dolphins. This game, of course, being played, benefit of the Salesmanship Club's great charity, their boys and girls camps in Hawkins, Texas. That's what Ron did last year in the strike abbreviated season. Of course, this game, plus the Byron Nelson Golf Classic, makes up the majority of the funds that the Salesmanship Club generates for their camps each year. They do an outstanding job. Very worthwhile charity. Second down, 15. From the 39 of Miami. White got away from one man. And it's picked off again as this time he overthrew the intended receiver and racing down the field is Paul Langford. And Langford is run out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And a few boos rained down from above in the direction, undoubtedly, of the Cowboy quarterback. Nothing like a couple of interceptions to get a quarterback controversy going again.
Well, that's for sure, and that'll do it here tonight. We take a look at the defensive secondary of the Dolphins. That Butch Johnson cutting across in the middle, right on the zone, was wide open. But Danny simply overthrew him. Had him wide open, nobody within 15 yards of him. And Langford just picked it up and scampered it back. And again, Miami with the ball offensively, 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
White has hit 10 out of 15 for 85 yards, but 2 now have been picked off. Dan Marino bringing the Dolphins up to the line of scrimmage. They have a field goal on their opening drive of the second half, and that's been the only scoring we've had here in the third period so far. Marino electing to stay on the ground, giving it to Woody Bennett and the former University of Miami star. Takes it out to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 4. Danny Spradlin, number 55, the Cowboys' middle linebacker, along with Cubby Walls, number 24, on the stop. All of the defensive signals for the Cowboys. Second down, 5. Overstreet, the lone running back, takes the handoff and is close to a first down at the 45-yard line. Well, we may get a look at Glenn Corrado, the third Cowboy quarterback who is loosening up on the sidelines. He's been kind of the forgotten man. Last year at this time, as you see Stockner give the defensive signals, last year at this time, Glenn Corrado was the number 2 quarterback and was scheduled to start the second game of the season, as Hogaboom is this time against Los Angeles. And as it turned out, Corrado suffered a knee injury against San Diego early in that second game, and for all intents and purposes, that was it as far as his year was concerned, except for holding for Septien. 3rd and 1. Dolphins at their 45, and Marino will call a timeout. The timeout called by Dan Marino with only 25 seconds, and the Dolphins still need one for the first down at their 45-yard line. Overstreet and Bennett are the setbacks, and Woody Bennett cracks through for the first down at the 47. A very common practice in these preseason games, especially the early ones, is for all the teams to send scouts out to the other games. So there are a lot of scouts from other clubs here to look over the rookies on these 2 ball clubs and to see how they're faring and in terms of how they had them rated, and also to possibly take a look at someone like a Corrado who might be available should a team suffer an injury. 6-yard line, they lead it 17-6. Led at halftime by a score of 14-6. Dan Marino at the throttle, as he has been all of the second half, looking long, going down the middle. Heavy traffic, and the ball is knocked loose from the intended receiver over the middle, Dexter Klingscale. Pretty good wallop that time on Clayton, who is down there. In fact, the Dolphins had so many receivers in the tight quarters there, you wonder if somebody perhaps ran the wrong pattern. Duper, number 85, and Clayton were both in the same area. So it's 2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line.
Cooper was the number 2 draft pick a year ago for the Dolphins, and as we mentioned earlier, a world-class sprinter, but was injured most of the season last year, so didn't see much in the way of action. But they've got high expectations for this young man.
2nd and 10, Dolphins from their 46-yard line. 2-step drop that time for Marino, trying to throw that thing on timing, and Clayton looked around and the ball was already by him. That that time, like Marino expected him to go to the inside, and he went to the outside.
I think that's exactly what happened, Frank. You see him take a route to the outside, and Ron Fellows almost had a chance to pick it off as the ball was right behind him.
Word from below is that Timmy Newsome is suffering from dehydration and will not return to the ball game. He may be the first of several. So we'll probably get a long look at Chuck McSwain, the rookie from Clemson, here in the final period. 3rd and 10. Marino trying to scramble out of trouble. Sideline throw. They call it good at the 37-yard line. Well, the rule says you have to have both feet in the pros, 1 foot in college.
It was close enough to justify some of the boos that you hear in the background. We'll take another look at it. You call it yourself. Well, I guess it was all right. It was quick, but he seemed to have both of them in.
Mark Clayton, the rookie free agent from Louisville, who's been one of the standouts in the Dolphins camp so far, taking the pass, picking up the first down at the 33-yard line, and a big 3rd down play to keep this Dolphin drive alive. Dolphins get in the Super Bowl this year. They won't have to leave their home state. It's being played in Tampa. Overstreet. Big Game Hunter did a good job fighting off a block and getting a piece of him as he tried to turn the corner. And he was stopped at the 34-yard line. Danny Spradlin over there to help. As Duper, second-year wide receiver, great speed merchant, coming in with the next play from head coach Don Shula.
Spradlin, one of the many linebackers that Coach Shula is looking at tonight, along with Jeff Rohr, the number 2 draft pick a year ago, and Jimmy Leopolis, the number 3 pick out of Wyoming, who was on the injured reserve list the better part of the year.
2nd down, 6 for the Dolphins at the Dallas 32-yard line. Marino at this point is at 2 out of 8 for 39 yards. Well, that 30-second clock was just about out. Overstreet taking the short throw. Anthony Dickerson actually knocked him about 5 yards forward down to the 24-yard line, which is good for another first down.
Try and keep your eyes on number 85 for Miami. This is Duper. And watch him cut in and get the nice block on Danny Spradlin. And thus allow the play to be picked up for a first down.
Spradlin make about 2 at Duper, for sure. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Clayton wide to the right side. Duper is split to the left. Marino going with the straight power up the middle as he elects to keep it on the ground. They pick up 4 yards down to the 20-yard line on the carry by Woody Bennett. Dolphins have the number 1 defensive team in the National Football League based on last year's statistics, averaging just 256 yards yield per game, and the 2nd stingiest in points allowed. Stick Nolan on the left of your screen there with the headset, talking to head coach Tom Landry. 2nd down, 5 for Miami at the Dallas 20. Marino tried to hit Overstreet that time. And it'll be 3rd and 5. Jeff Rohr, number 50, over there to cover for the Cowboys.
Really had him beaten, too. Had he been able to hold on to the ball, might have picked up the first down, but he pretty close to it.
Both teams over 500 in 3rd down conversions in this game, but the Cowboys haven't been able to put the drive together, the big drive. And certainly part of the reason is the penalties that they've been hit with. Wiped out a 52-yard touchdown run in the first half by Tony Dorsett. And several other critical points as well. 3rd and 5 from the Dallas 20. Marino in the shotgun. Former Pitt quarterback gets rid of the ball, but pass is incomplete over on the far sideline. Intended for Tom Figueredo. And broken up by the Cowboys, which sets up a field goal situation and brings on Von Schaman, who had no problem at all with his first effort. 41 yards out, which could have been good from 10 yards further away. This one will be 37 yards in length. and Marino to do the holding. Uwe, who was born in Berlin, eventually wound up in Fort Worth. Of course, became an Oklahoma Sooner before winding up in the NFL. Somebody may have gotten a piece of that. It is no good. Big rush on the left side, and it looked like either Michael Downs or Rod Hill came blowing through from the left side and got a piece of that field goal attempt and deflected it. With the score, the Dolphins 20-yard line came from the left side.
Kind of stuff that Rod Hill is looking for this year, Frank. Number 25, you see him coming in there, just getting the right hand on it. And last year's disappointing number 1 draft pick, trying to make it happen his second year with the Cowboys.
Well, you saw Carano warming up, but maybe he was just warming up Gary Hogeboom. I don't know, because Hogeboom is back in there, trying to get something started for the Cowboys. Pass is completed to George Peoples, the second-year running back, out to the 25-yard line.
We talked about Peoples earlier, second-year man out of Auburn. Played along with Brooks in San Diego, and of course Joe Cribbs of the Buffalo Bills, and was used mostly as a blocker when he was at Auburn, but is a real all-purpose back, real good one. And the Cowboys have big hopes for him.
If White is through for the night, he'll wind up 10 out of 15 for 85 yards, 2 interceptions, and sacked 1 time. McSwain got tangled up with the AstroTurf there, the artificial turf here at Texas Stadium, as he tried to make his cut around the left side. Was stopped at the 23-yard line for a loss of a yard or 2 on the play. Mike Kozlowski, the strong safety for the Dolphins, making the stop on the rookie running back. Dallas trailing 17-6 before a perspiration-drenched crowd of 46,000 in the flesh. 50,000 tickets sold to this game, some 15,000 under capacity.
About 25,000 fans.
Hogeboom, lots of time. Butch Johnson couldn't get loose at the 40-yard line, trying to shake the defender, Gerald Small, who stayed with him all the way. So the Cowboys will be punting again. And Warren is in to do the honors. Clayton is deep for the Dolphins, standing back on the 30-yard line.
4 punts tonight thus far for a 40.3 average. Well below, I would imagine, what is going to be necessary for him to make this club.
Does a good job fielding the low snap this time. Kick is high but short. Clayton fields it at the 37-yard line with the fair catch. And the Dolphins will put it in play from there. So the Dolphins go back to the attack with Dan Marino at quarterback. Time is out with the score. Miami 17, Dallas 6. Let's pull in a pretty strong job on the Cowboys. Here's Marino, going to loosen it up now. Going long downfield, and he's got a man out there, but he couldn't quite catch up to it. Clayton, who got behind Ron Fellows, who could run with the best of them. Roy Foster, number 61 there, was a number 1 draft pick a year ago from Southern Cal. He watched him work in the offensive line.
Take a look at some of the interior linemen doing their thing here, and it's got to be awfully hot down there tonight. Good protection for Marino, enough time to get the long bomb away, but as we said, overthrown.
11:07 left to play in the game. 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins. Clayton splits out wide to the right side. Duper is flanked to the left. Tight end is Johnson, moves over from the left to the right side. Bennett and Overstreet are the setbacks behind Marino. Overstreet, nice hole. Out across the 40 to the 43, considerably short of the first down. We're looking at 3rd and 4 after a pickup of 6 yards or so. Danny Spradlin making the stop.
That'll be a tough situation for Coach Landry and the Cowboys coaching staff at this point, I would think. To really, well, maybe they can put some pluses on this game, but the team really has not done anything of note. I guess you could weed out some of the fellas you don't want around, but some of the fellas they were hopeful would do some good things, some of the free agents and draft picks have not really fared all that well tonight.
Third down. Let's call it 5 for the Dolphins from their 43. Marino, sideline throw. And Ron Fellows that time doing a good job of covering Duper in front of the Dolphin bench. So the Dolphins will be punting. We should also thank our spotter and statistician tonight, don't you think, Scott?
No question about it. I'll let you do the honors.
Mitchell Gleaver on my left, spotting, and Craig Gleaver doing the stats work for us.
Any relation?
And if it wasn't for you, this would be an all-family show. One of the Cowboys shaking up on the play. And can't quite get a number on him, but Dr. Pat Evans and Dr. Marvin Knight out quickly to take a look-see. First thing that comes to mind, of course, in this heat is possible cramps. Already lost Newsom. I wonder if that's Dutton. Could that be Dutton? Could be one of Stockner's defensive linemen that's down, and he may be yelling at one of the officials. I wonder if that is John Dutton. With Harvey Martin out of there already, I think he is questioning the official's ancestry at this point.
I think you're right.
He's pointing to his eye saying, can't you see what happened? Apparently, he thought that
it is Dutton.
Yeah, that is Dutton, and Harvey Martin is already on the bench with a sore shoulder.
Well, Dutton has really been ailing ever since 1981 when he caught that blatant kick from Conrad Dover, now retired during the Bills game back in November of '81.
Well, whatever happened, Stockner was really incensed. Obviously, he didn't think it was quite legal on that last play.
He's still a little uptight. But Dutton came to camp this year as healthy he has been since '81 and ready to play good football, and this would be a real tough situation for the Cowboys if indeed it is a serious injury of any type.
Well, let's see if Roby can get off another moonshot here for the Dolphins, averaging 55 yards a punt. And that won't hurt it either, I don't think. Maybe a little bit shorter than that, but not much. Rod Hill letting it bounce at the 10. Of course, the coaches will tell you it's inside the 10, let it go. That thing hit right on the 10-yard line.
And the height on that, I think that would have hit the video board of the Superdome down in New Orleans.
That was high. Timeout with the score. The Dolphins 17 and the Cowboys 6. Let's pause for the Dolphins leading 17-6. Remember that regular season game again 2 years ago. Dallas overcame a 13-point disadvantage in the last 4 minutes. Hogeboom completes the pass to Peoples over the middle. He's out there other. Is that Peoples at 82 or 22? That's 82.
It's 82.
And in that case, that would be Cleo Simmons, who is a rookie tight end candidate, a free agent, battling for that number 3 position along with Chris Faulkner, the draft pick from Florida.
And they say of late, this man has really been a better ball player thus far than Faulkner is the man that they thought was really going to fare well and pick up in that vacated spot of Chase Selly since he was sent to Chicago.
Pickup of 9 on the play, second down 1. Simmons in motion. Hogeboom back to throw it again. He does have a quick delivery. And that time hits Butch Johnson for the first down at the 46-yard line. And John Dutton now is being led to the dressing room by Ken Locker, one of the Cowboy trainers, and it looked like he took a shot to the head. Got the ice pack on the left side of his face. Butch Johnson making his first catch of the year, and that's good for a Dallas first down at the 46. Cowboys still trying to put together one sustained drive before this evening is out. Penalties have just murdered the Cowboys tonight. Fake to McSwain. Hogeboom going long, trying to reach Donnelly. And Donnelly had the full afterburner on that time. And Hogeboom having trouble keeping in footwear. Last year in the last preseason game against Houston, caught 2 touchdown passes, one from White and the other from Hogeboom. On 2nd and 10 from the 45, trying to set up the screen. Penalty markers down all over the place. 9 penalties all on the Cowboys. The Dolphins have turned down 2 or 3, which will not go into the book. Third down, 15 from the 40. Hogaboom, sideline throw. Cowboys thought perhaps an interference flag should have been forthcoming, but none was there, as the pass intended for Drew Pearson, and Pearson was flattened by Mike Kozlowski, number 40, the nickelback of the defense.
So you can watch Kozlowski, but the ball is really passed through. Right there, it passed him, and then the hit. So it was a legitimate call. There was no pass interference whatsoever. The ball was
deep for the Dolphins with 8:32 left to play in the contest. Pressure that time on Warren, but she gets good high kick away. Clayton waiting for this one. No fair catch. 15-20 out to the 25 and run out of bounds at the 28. Close is in there. Rod Hill is in there at the cornerback positions. Iliopoulos in at a linebacker. Spradlin in at the middle linebacker position. 43 yards on the punt by Warren. Moreno brings the Dolphins up to the line of scrimmage at the 28-yard line. Try to work on the clock a little bit. After he plays out his contract in the USFL, that perhaps he will join Miami. And I think certainly that's worth a 12th round draft choice. Marino, little toss over to the far side to Overstreet, gets away from Rohr, and moves on down the sideline to about midfield.
Rushing lineman of the Cowboys coming in. Good protection, and just dumped it off in the flat to Overstreet, and he did the rest.
7 minutes, 33 seconds left to play in the game. Clayton wide to the left side. Duper is split to the right. First and 10, Miami. Dolphins at their own 45. Dan Marino has gone all the way here in the second half. Woody Bennett, great cutback. Crosses the 50 and down to the Dallas 47-yard line before Randy White makes the stop for the Cowboys.
Years gone by, not the case this year, however. Trying to keep it trim.
Second down, 2 for the Dolphins at the Dallas 47. One running back, that's Bennett. He's got another first down at the 43, but perhaps more so than anyone else, head coaches throughout the league, as 8 of them lost their jobs. Clayton in motion. Marino with the pitch. Again to Bennett. Ball pops loose. Picked up by Hill. He fumbles the ball. Still loose. Who got it? All the way down at the 25. It's the Cowboys' ball, I believe. Well, it's what the officials. Nope, now they're indicating that Miami has the football. And Duper has come up with it. Boy, that's as wild a play as you'll ever see.
Well, here's a perfect example. Keep your eyes on number 25 in white after the fumble is made. Initial hit was made by, I think, down. And Rod Hill has the ball there. But as he starts to run downfield, is caught right on the abdomen and then just coughed it up. And then it was just a scurry after that and really a contest to see who would finally come up with it. But Rod Hill had it and actually took a couple of steps down towards the other end before he caught it right in the stomach region and just literally choked it up.
It looked like everybody on the field had at least one shot at it. Several guys had at least 2 passes at it.
Well, they lost 50 yards on it, for what that might be worth. They're close to it.
Tell you where that one will wind up in is football follies.
Do they do that in preseason? I guess they do, don't they?
Anytime they get a good play like that, I'm sure they'll keep it.
NFL Films will be right on top of it. Like they won a couple of years ago with the Redskins when 11 or 12 guys touched it in the air, and it never touched the turf.
Now here's where Shula's coaching will be tested. This is a 2nd and 39 upcoming.
And this is where Marino goes into the huddle and says, "You go long." Everybody.
Vince Heflin is wide to the left side. Duper is split to the right. Dolphins back at their 28-yard line. 5:34 left to play in the game. Overstreet. Looks like the Dolphins may be surrendering in this series. For the artificial turf, which has to be, several degrees above the existing temperature. I think Randy White was right in the middle of that.
Well, Mark Denard is number 63 in the blue jersey on your screen. He's the center for the Dolphins. Dolphins, and Roy might have been maybe a little fast in on that. And he might have gotten dunked down a little prematurely. He's saying somebody kicked him in the head.
Well, Denard will get the last 5 minutes and 20. He is very descriptive, isn't he?
He certainly is. It was like this, Coach.
That's what he did to me. Denard used to be the starting center until Woody Stevenson beat him out of the job, but he's still a pretty good one. 3rd down and 37 for the Dolphins. Ball is at the 30-yard line. In Miami's end of the field, again, the Dolphins sticking on the ground, and Overstreet clears it out to the 34. On 4 punts, Rod Hill is deep for the Cowboys.
Keep in mind the NFL leader last year from Denver, 45 yards. Danny Whitehaber only averaged about 41 last year.
Well, they're going to throw a flag on Benny Barnes of the Cowboys, so the Dolphins are going to get it back here regardless of Hill, who breaks a nice return out to the 35. It is going to be running into the punter, and the Dolphins are going to get the football back.
He kicked that from about the 20-yard line of Miami, and it was fielded on about the 5 of the Cowboys. It's about 75 yards in the air.
Barnes took a hold of Roby's arm as he went by him from behind. Here's the call.
Personal foul, running into the kicker, first down.
Take a look at it again yourself as you decide. Almost looks like he's going to take time to run it. Basically, it already, well, I don't know. That looked awfully accidental.
Well, he kind of hooked him around the arm.
Yeah, I guess he did.
And brought him down, and Roby did a pretty good acting job, and the Dolphins will get it back with a first down at their 39. And the Cowboys' penalty yardage continues to mount. That's 11 times now they've been hit for 82 yards, and the Dolphins' slate is still clean. It's incredible to go through the first preseason game without a penalty, which I think they're about to do. Bennett to about the 44-yard line, pick up a 5 on the play, and Ron Fellows made the stop. Dolphins have 21 starters back out of the 22 who started in the Super Bowl last year, the lone exception being the linebacker Larry Gordon, who died during the offseason so tragically. It's the second time, really, in the last 5 years they have lost someone. Rusty Chambers, another fine linebacker, back in 1980, was involved in a fatal auto accident. 2nd and 5 for the Dolphins at their 44-yard line. Bennett, the workhorse here in the second half. Out across the 50 to the 49-yard line, and Dallas into the field. That's another first down. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to play in the game. Mark Tunay making the stop. And Don Shula looks like he has this one in pretty good shape.
He's really got to be pleased the way this club has played, and I think what you alluded to just moments ago, Frank, the fact that they have not been penalized at all yet tonight, that has got to make him extremely pleased.
Been all defense here, almost on both sides here in the second half. Just 3 points on Von Schauman's field goal. That was on the opening drive of the third quarter. Otherwise, nothing. Really no serious scoring threats. Again, Bennett. This time to the Dallas 40-yard line. And Shula sending in the next play, utilizing Vince Heflin, a wide receiver. We haven't seen much of Jim Jeffcoat. I thought perhaps he'd play a lot more, unless he's got some problem with the heat and cramps or something.
I did myself. He did have some problems early in camp this year. Was out about 3-4 days with dehydration. So it is very possible that could be the situation on the far sideline.
Cowboys' defensive line has taken a beating tonight with Harvey Martin out with a shoulder injury, Dutton finger in the eye. 2nd down and a yard. Many of the fans here at Texas Stadium starting to head for the exits. El Marino victimized by the 30-second clock. And that is the first penalty of the night on the Miami Dolphins. So delay of game cost them 5. Tom Landry hustles in another rookie, Charles Tolles, who is a linebacker.
I would not want to be at Thousand Oaks come Monday morning for the 2-a-days coming up this weekend.
Well, they get back tomorrow night in time for a meeting, and I imagine they're going to look at films for several hours. And the coaches will have some choice words. Bennett again. Seemed like the wind was kind of taken out of the Cowboys' sails when they had their 52-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett, nullified by the penalty, and the offense never really seemed to come back from that.
Well, that's a very good point.
2-minute warning going to both benches here. With the score, Miami 17, Dallas 6. Let's pause for a moment. For the Cowboys sideline, Gil Brandt on the left there, Ernie Stautner on the right. Dallas trailing 17-6 in their first preseason outing. Next time out, they go against the Los Angeles Rams a week from Monday night. That'll be in Anaheim. We'll have a live telecast of that game, which gets underway at 9 o'clock Dallas time. 3rd down and 2 for the Dolphins at the Dallas 40-yard line. Overstreet pops it up. Randy White, yes, sir. Number 54 pounced on that loose football at the 34-yard line, which will give the Cowboy offense one more opportunity.
Well, see those 10 pounds he shed, Frank, allowed him to get there that much faster.
Could have helped. Timeout. Minute 53 to go with the score. Dolphins 17, Cowboys 67 yards on the ground. Andre Franklin had 47 yards and only 9 carries. Most of that in the first half. Hogaboom. Little drop-off pass to McSwain, the rookie, from the 40, 45, 50. He can move out to the 40, 30, 20. Great thrill for a young man trying to make this ball club as he takes the short pass from Gary Hogaboom.
Memories of George Peoples just a year ago when Peoples did the same thing and went about 85 yards. This one's 67. Very little time, almost overthrows him. He has to go up and grab it. And then he does the rest. Cuts back in and goes way across the grain, comes back to lose one tackle. I think that was tough to see. One of the Blackwoods. And he just pours on the speed.
67 yards. Invariably, it seems, some rookie comes out of the pack to make this team in the salesmanship club game. Septien with the extra point try. Remember a couple of years ago, Downs blocked the punt, and then Walls recovered it and ran it in, and of course both not only made the club, but wound up starting. And that run could have made this ball club for Chuck McSwain, the number 5 draft pick from Clemson. So Septien hits the extra point. The Cowboys have a consolation touchdown, which certainly makes it sound a lot more respectable.
17-13 doesn't sound nearly as bad as 17-6, but they have certainly still been outplayed tonight. And the performance of the Cowboys here in this, the opening preseason game of the 83 campaign, not indicative of what I'm sure Coach Landry and his staff would like to have seen.
Well, that certainly helps Gary Hogaboom's numbers as well, although most of the work was done by McSwain. The pass itself was no more than 2 or 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. Hogaboom is now 13 out of 22 for 155 yards. And 1 touchdown. He has not had any interceptions and has not been sacked. And again, for those of you comparing figures with Danny White, he finished 10 out of 15 for 85 yards and had 2 passes intercepted. Tom Landry has indicated that next week against the Rams, it will be Hogaboom who will get the starting call. And White will come on in relief. Onside kick try by Rafael Septien.
I think they got it.
Lawrence Fellows recovering the ball at the 50-yard line. The Dolphins questioned whether or not it would be required 10 yards. It has to go 10 yards before a Cowboy player can touch it. Now, did it go 10?
It looks like he might have touched it before it went 10. I think he touched it right there, and I don't know, it's awful close.
It looked like it could have hit him in the chest as he tried to get away from it and it fielded. But the officials
Cowboys have their timeouts left. And tell me Gary Hogeboom wouldn't be a hero.
Two years ago, the Cowboys coming from behind with 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes to beat the Dolphins in regular season. Hogeboom, sideline throw. Pass is caught. We had a flag thrown on the play. Now they're saying that Doug Donnelly was out of bounds. Wasn't a flag either. It was a shoe that one of the defensive backs lost.
Well, again, we remind you, you've got to have both feet in bounds. And he has to dive out past the sideline to grab it. Awfully close. That looked awfully good to me. I think I'd have called that.
Well, the Cowboys certainly haven't had much in the way of break in the officials' calls tonight. This crowd, which has been sitting on its hands most of the evening, has suddenly gotten fired up. 2nd and 10 from midfield. Dallas trailing 17-13. A minute 32 left. Hogeboom under pressure. Sideline throw this time behind the intended receiver, Butch Johnson.
Which is too bad, too, because Butch had gotten inside on his man. Gerald Small was behind him, and he was past the first down line.
And it'd be nice to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. If they could somehow do it, still 50 yards away with 3rd and 10 upcoming. A minute 27 left to play in the game. Butch Johnson wide to the right side. Hogeboom back to throw it. Pretty fierce rush. Gets it away. Caught by Donnelly. Out of bounds. 35. A one-handed grab by Doug Donnelly. And that's the first down. White Lightning comes through for the Cowboys, the former Ohio State star, who has had an outstanding training camp so far and is vying for a lot more playing time this year. It's getting interesting now. 1st and 10. The officials have it marked at the Dolphin 37. Drew Pearson wide to the left. Butch Johnson in the slot. Donnelly split to the right side. From the shotgun, Hogeboom. Sideline throw. It is caught. Put out of bounds is Butch Johnson.
Hogeboom really laid that in there well, too. Because he had gone over the defender, Gerald Small, the cornerback on that far side, very well. And Butch just didn't have enough territory to bring it down in. Not enough real estate on that far side.
2nd and 10 for the Cowboys at the Dolphin 37-yard line. Tom Landry looking on passively.
Still lots of time with a minute 16 left.
Donnelly wide to the right side. Pearson split to the left. Butch Johnson in the slot off to the left. Hogeboom. Excellent protection. Flag down. Going long into the end zone. And incomplete. Intended for Butch Johnson. A couple of yards deep in the end zone. We had a marker thrown near the line of scrimmage. Herb Scott, Tony Hill check in. Penalty is on Pearson. Drew Pearson. 3rd and 10 from the Dolphin 37. Clock shows a minute 9. Tell Landry watch this one. He's got his number 1 wide receivers in there now. Big rush. Hogeboom under pressure. Completes the pass for the first down at the 25-yard line. And a tremendous shot put on Drew Pearson, but he hung on. Clock moving with 55 seconds to go, and now the Cowboys call time. Drew Pearson off to the left. Butch Johnson in the slot inside of him, up at the top of your screen. Inside handoff, McSwain, 30, 25, and run out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Well, they figured the Dolphins were looking past, so they tried to cross them up with the running play. They got 4, but so ran off another 8 seconds off the clock, takes it down to 49 seconds. But McSwain going out of bounds stops the clock without utilizing a timeout. So it'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Cowboys at the Dolphin 21. 180 yards. Gary sets up, completes the pass at the 13-yard line.
That's it up for a first down, too.
Don Spriggs making the reception. The clock continues to move here. And now it's stopped with 41 seconds to go.
Just from the same way that Ron Spriggs sees it. Right into it. And a first down by about 3 yards.
And the 4 minutes has been worth the price of admission. If the 55 minutes or so before it hasn't been. Here we go. Cowboys 1st and 10. Dolphins 13-yard line. Dallas needing a touchdown to win. Trailing 17-13. They've been behind the entire ballgame. They've never been ahead. Here we go. Tony Hill wide right. Pearson also off to the right side. Ogaboom for Donnelly. Incomplete. Deep in the end zone. It'll be 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. From the 13. Ogaboom. Over the middle. Pass incomplete at the 5. That would have been a spectacular grab. The attempt at the leaping catch by Butch Johnson, who specializes in the impossible.
Take a look at it from the ground level. Yeah, this is not an impossible catch, as Frank alludes to, for Butch Johnson. He has made these types of things over the years, but that's just a little too high.
It is 3rd down and 10 now from the 13. 31 seconds left. Ogaboom looking for 6. Down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal to go. Doug Cosby. They have 1 timeout left. And they're going to use it with 24 seconds left. Officials will mark it between the 1 and the 2.
The way of playing time, only 1 penalty for 5 yards. Really, fundamentally, it looks great tonight.
Ron Spriggs in the backfield along with McSwain from the 2-yard line. 1st and goal. Cosby in motion. Ogaboom to throw. Gary's going to try to run it in and doesn't get there. So Ogaboom is up quickly. The clock moving. 15 seconds. He's going to have to regroup them quickly. We're down to 10 seconds. Ogaboom throws it out of bounds. So that stops it with 6 so they can regroup and have time for at least 1 more play. And Ogaboom may have been shaken up a little bit when he took that shot. He was popped hard. He thought he saw an opening, could make it to the end zone, but he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe made a half a yard on the play, and moved it down to the 1. So it is now 3rd and goal to go from the 1-yard line.
Kelly Joe Dupre is in there now, Frank. I wouldn't be surprised if either he or Cosby would catch a short pass right here.
McSwain and Springs are the setbacks. Ogaboom motioning McSwain over. McSwain gets the call. He's over! Chuck McSwain, the rookie running back from Clemson, scores his 2nd touchdown in the last 2 minutes of the game. And the Cowboys have snatched victory. The jaws of defeat, 2 seconds left to play. 19-17 Dallas. Well, I imagine there are a few fans that left this one early in the final period. Raul Alegre with Toronto to hold. Alegre hit a 51-yard field goal on the last play of the first half. The extra point try is good. The clock does not move on extra point attempts, so the Dolphins will at least have an opportunity for the kickoff, but you can bet the Cowboys will keep that on the ground.
Guys up front to the middle. Herb Scott and McSwain in standing up.
Had he been stopped short of the goal line, that would have been it. There wouldn't have been time 10 or 15 yards down the middle and make sure that the speedsters don't get a hold of it. game going.
Looks like the California game last year.
California and Stanford. Finally, the Dolphins. David Overstreet goes out of bounds.